That's still ready to roll. What is happening, everyone, and welcome to TROP-CAST episode 30. We're into the dirty 30s, guys. What's the story? We have myself, the host, Ronan Fox. Seamus Fanning is with us. How are you, Seamus?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Dirty 30s. You're the only one in our 30s here now. Don't you be dragging us down. Don't you be dragging us down.
I've got another couple of years left there, Ronan.
The reason why I said it is when I was hitting 30, everyone was saying, you're heading into your dirty 30s. And I always kind of wondered what that was about. Was it when you kind of let yourself go and put on a bit of weight? Or was it the time where you go a little bit crazy? But look, we are so happy to be here on our 30th episode. Jack, how are you doing there? Platinum Jack, how are you keeping? I'll introduce you first of all. We as people can see, we have a new layout for TROP-CAST. We're trying over on the Discord, and Hangouts was just not working for us the last day, so we said we'd jump into Discord. And you know, it's a little bit rough around the edges. The overlay was a little bit sweeter, but it was for a 4-man, and that 4th man is Paddy Toner. He can't be with us this week, but he'll be back next week, and he'll be dearly missed on this one. So guys, let's get to it. It is what we're playing section. So Seamus, what have you been playing the last week?
Nothing has changed. Let's just put it that way, right? Right, okay.
So let me guess. FIFA,
Yes.
Sekiro,
Yes.
and more FIFA.
No, I've been playing Overwatch and a bit of Apex as well.
Oh, you're still rocking the Overwatch?
Yeah. I was like 6 points short of getting into Gold Division for the last season.
Oh,
I'll get it.
One day. One day.
But FIFA's been going great. Like, we restarted the club from scratch this week. We got to Division 1 last week, and then I was like, well, there was nothing more new people who want to play it. I hadn't actually played pro clubs before, so I was like, well, we'll change it up. We'll go back to the start, and we'll bring people in and show them how pro clubs works. Because I think pro clubs is fantastic. I think like EA could capitalize on it so much. It's starting to grow. Like, the ball for pro clubs with new people is really taking off. We'll move on to Sekiro, which I killed 3 bosses.
nice. Well done. Who are the bosses?
Well, obviously, there's the first one I can't remember the name of. The horse.
Lady Butterfly, did you take her down?
Oh, annihilated Lady Butterfly.
Good stuff.
I actually did her on stream yesterday, and then today on stream I did Junichiro.
Yeah.
I
could never pronounce that name right, so I'm pretty impressed. That's a tough boss.
Junichiro. I found him easier to get used to than Lady Butterfly. I found her movement to be more tricky than his, because for him, he felt very much so like a Dark Souls kind of Bloodborne boss. Just get in and just stay on top of him.
Yeah, very much kind of so. Definitely, you gotta be definitely pushing him like with aggression all the time.
Yeah, definitely. He doesn't have that much variation in his moves until like you obviously get rid of his first health bar. So he's kind of predictable up to that point. But then after that, yeah, he gets interesting, all right.
yeah. We won't spoil anything for anyone that hasn't got that far. I'm sure anyone that's played Sekiro will have got that far. But Seamus, fair play to you. You're getting through it. Jack, did you hit another platinum? Did I see?
I hit another platinum yesterday, but that wasn't the only thing I've been playing this week. But I'll start off with that. I platinumed the Liar Princess and the Blind Prince, which is by it's originally a Japanese game, but it was localized by NIS America, and it's a puzzle platformer of sorts. And it wasn't even that got me into it. I saw the trailer a couple of months ago, and it kind of had a bit of a Tim Burton-esque style to the art style of it.
Nice.
So I did that there yesterday, and then obviously I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart still.
You're flat out on Mario Kart.
Well, my Switch tells me I've played it for over 300 hours, so I don't think I'll be stopping anytime soon.
Deadly. I know, that's fantastic.
Numbers.
Then last week, myself and my brother sat down and finished Need for Speed The Run on the Xbox 360. And we started The Run, yes. And then we started Need for Speed Underground 2 there a couple of days ago.
Going on a little Need for Speed run. I loved Hot Pursuit back on PC, was kind of my first introduction to the Need for Speed series. But I kind of drifted away a little bit on them because of I prefer more sim-like racing games now. But there's definitely something there with them. They seem to be. Are they making a new one, or is that still to be announced?
That's still to be announced. I think I haven't heard much about it. But again, it's not. Again, it's not just a Need for Speed kind of groove we've been in. We actually played through a couple of the Tony Hawk's games before that as well. So
Sweet.
Great games.
We went through Project 8 and I can't remember the other one we went through, but we tried them on the GameCube.
So now that you're in a new house, do you get like an over amount of gaming done, yeah?
Yes and no, because my gaming room is still in tatters. I haven't got the...
Takes a long time to set up your gaming room, doesn't it?
It does, but all I need is just one... I have the idea in my head. I just need a proper shelving unit, and then I can get everything done within the space of about a day. That's all I'm left with.
You say that now, right? You'll get the unit or whatever, and it just won't be open for like 2 months.
Oh no, I'll be making sure it's open because I haven't set up my Kingdom Hearts PS4 yet, and that's what I'm waiting for to set it up.
Kingdom Hearts, I seen actually just as you brought it up, they're doing a Japanese sale over on PSN, and Kingdom Hearts plus the old ones are sorry, they're up on sale there. A couple of other great games. I mean, you have the usual Dark Souls and Bloodborne, but there's some great games for sale over there. I had a quick look before I jumped on here. Check it out on PSN. Myself, have you been playing anything else, Jack? Before I cut over you there.
No, well, there has been one other thing, but that's a secret one that I'm kind of keeping for a couple of weeks before I say anything about that.
Embargo.
Obviously, if you're Obviously, if you're friends with me on PSN, you'll see me playing the game, but outside of that, I won't be saying much about it.
Okay, sweet. I've been playing a couple of games. I bought Hollow Knight on PS4. It was like £6 the other day, and I looked up at a few reviews, and I heard a couple of comparisons with games I like. So I jumped in, and I'll be honest with you, it hasn't really grabbed me. Now, I've only played, I'd say I did about a half an hour. I did the first couple of stages, and just at the very start, I feel like the gameplay takes a little bit to get used to. I'm not saying it's a bad game or anything. Like, I mean, the art style is beautiful. The gameplay just feels a little bit different than most kind of platformers in the same vein as that. So I'm going to jump back into it. I'll give it a go. I'll give it a good go because I know you unlock abilities. It's a Metrovania style, so as you progress through the game you unlock more abilities, and supposedly I've heard a couple of reviewers who I respect said that they felt the same way as me, and Seamus, you actually felt the same way as well about that game. It's not really grabbed you from the get-go.
Yeah, it didn't get me from the get-go at all, no. And I wanted it to. I think it's probably because I expected so much for it, because I heard so many people saying it was really good, that I kind of dove head in, and it hasn't lived up to it for me, at the moment. But I'm willing to give it another go. I just find it very slow or something. There's something very slow.
I can get that, definitely.
It's not as fast paced as usual Metroidvanias would be, is it?
Yeah, I think I just spoiled it. Like, we were spoiled with like Castlevania.
Dead Cells.
Even to the indie games like Rogue Legacy and stuff like that.
Rogue Legacy is fantastic.
Like, they hit the nail on the head for me. This game seems, although I love the art style, it's beautiful to look at. But
the music is actually pretty nice as well.
Yeah. But gameplay wise, I feel it's lacking for me. I don't know, there's something.
So there's that. I played FIFA like yourself. We got, myself and Derek Grimes, we got 2 co-op Division 1 titles under our belt. The funny thing about that is we've been playing for the last, I'd say, 7 or 8 years together, and we have never won a co-op title Division 1 until 2019, and now we have 2 of them in the bag with Barcelona. Very dramatic, the last one that we did. There was a couple of people watching on stream, and it was crazy what happened in the end. But I'm going to grab some replays off that and post them up on the page as well. So it was very exciting. What else have I been looking at? We're going to talk about it a little bit later on, but I actually jumped back into Rocket League, which I am a huge fan of. Started playing that again. I like playing either 2v2 or 1-on-1. That's the kind of game modes that I prefer to play. I feel like I would love, and I would love to start a Rocket League team for the Republic of players, and try and challenge other maybe pro teams like we're doing in FIFA, like the pro club side of things. I think it might be a little bit easier to get a team together because it's max, I think, is 5 is the team, but you can also jump in if there's only 2 or 3 online. You can jump in and do duos or trees. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. Apart from that, that's kind of where I am. I haven't gone back to Sekiro. Sekiro has taken a little bit of a back seat for me. I'm on literally the last boss in that game, but I don't know what. I just need to sit down and just go for it. John Fogarty, he's crazy for me to go and just clear that game, because he was with me from the start on stream, and he's like, just go and play the goddamn game. That's what I've been playing. So if you want
to your Pain Train challenge,
I haven't got Pain Train's final number, but I believe he may have bet me. We'll see.
If you don't finish the game,
I never have to do the yeah, exactly. That's exactly why I'm not finishing the game. No, I'll definitely go back. It's just, them games, Seamus, they take a lot out of you, and you need to be in the mood to play them. And for the moment, I'm kind of sorry. There's a game I forgot that I have been putting an awful lot of time into, Path of Exile, and I would love for you to come and join me on a stream with that. It's a hell of a lot of fun. The loot is just amazing in it, and I think me and you could get some serious crack out of it.
I find it funny because I was like, yeah, Ron, just do the starting area there. I've already done that. I'm a little bit ahead. And then he texts me, he's like, I'm at level 12. I've already done all this. I was like, oh no.
But it's just for me, I was never a big fan of those loot kind of base games, and I got into Destiny, which is that kind of style that you're getting better as you go, you're picking up different weapons. But Diablo never grabbed me. Path of Exile, there's something about it. I think it's the difficulty or the art style or the way the world is set up. It feels like a game that I used to watch on TV years ago. It was like one of the first online games ever. We tried to figure out this game out before and never got it. Someone in the chat might be able to help us out. But it was a game very similar to Path of Exile. It was online, and that's kind of what it feels like playing, and I'm having a hell of a lot of fun playing it. I mean, I had one of my best streams on Twitch the other night. John Fogarty and Streamer Elite, shout out to those two guys. Had such a great time and a lot of fun, and I appreciate the company. So guys, without further ado, we're going to go to news. Seamus, did you want to jump in first?
Just before, it's not the Baldur's Gate games, is it?
People have thrown games at me before, and I've looked them up and I said, no, it's not that, no, it's not that, no, it's not that. But maybe we'll have a chat after the podcast and try and figure out what it is. So the first bit of news, guys, is Epic Games have acquired Psyonix, which is the development team that created Rocket League, which I just mentioned. And a lot of people kind of blew up about this. What does this mean for the game? Is it going to be taken off Steam? Are the people that own it on Steam going to be able to play it anymore? Do any of you guys want to jump in with this, or will I just read the report?
No, work away, man.
So today is a big day for us here at Psyonix, because just as the headline says, we're officially joining Epic Games family. Your first question to news like this might be, what does this mean for Rocket League and its community? We're happy to say that the answers are only positive. Rocket League always has been and always will be a community-driven game, and now that we have joined forces with Epic, we will be able to serve our community even bigger and in better ways. And I have also read reports that it's still going to be available on Steam. They're not going to take it off. This is just basically Epic Games buying developers to possibly bring them onto the Epic store in future. But the way I kind of looked at this is they will really be able to push the esports side of Rocket League, because Rocket League, it's always on the cusp of being a massive esport game, but maybe the funding or just something there about it is not there. But with Epic behind them, I think they could do massive. And I personally love Rocket League. I think it's one of the best funnest games on PS4 on any system, and if anyone hasn't played it, definitely check it out. It's absolutely amazing. Jack, what do you think of this news?
Honestly, I'd say it's again, and you've actually hit the nail on the head with the esports scene, because don't get me wrong, I've seen some esport tournaments with Rocket League, and the skill levels at them are absolutely astronomical. But you'd never see a big tournament for it. They're usually smaller country set tournaments. They're never actually a worldwide tournament, from what I've seen. So it should be interesting to see what way they go now that Epic have actually joined with them, and see what they do.
Definitely. Like there's definitely an esports scene there, but it's just not in a case, it's not at a standard where obviously where Fortnite is or where League of Legends is, but it's such a great and simple game, and the skill level, like what I love about Rocket League is you could be someone new that has never played a game before. You give them a controller, you say that's boost, that's jump, and there you go, have a bit of fun, and you can jump into Rocket League. But there's also the other end of the scale, which you touched on, that's just a ridiculous skill level where they're bouncing the ball through the air and soloing it the whole way along and then scoring, and it's amazing to watch. And I think that's what makes the game so great is just the level of skill is just transparent. Seamus.
Well, it's plain to see, like they're buying stuff up for their own store. Obviously, it's like Microsoft buying up studios and PlayStation buying up studios. It's a good move for them to actually to go out there and just put their neck on the line and actually say, yeah, we're actually going to buy a studio this early on. Like, now whether or not this means that Rocket League's going to get better, I don't know. It gives the game more exposure, and they'll probably have more advertising and marketing for it.
Yeah.
But whether people want to play it is a different thing. But it does show a level of, I want to say like a level of bravery. So they're buying up a studio that has a game that already has like an online stature. So it gives them like what's next? What's next from Psyonix Studios under this banner? What are they going to make a new game? Are they going to concentrate on strictly Rocket League? Are they going to make racing games? Like, what's new to go up on that store from that studio?
Well, their previous game was similar to Rocket League. It was, and Oshin will kill me for not remembering the name of this, but it was something like Super. Do you know it, Jack?
It's a super. I know most of it. It's,
Super Rocket jetpack powered cars.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oshin knows it. Drop that in the comments.
Rocket powered battle cars, I think.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's very close to it anyway. But it was very similar to Rocket League. So I think that if they just keep expanding on this game, maybe make a Rocket League 2 or just keep expanding on Rocket League, I think there's so much you can do with Rocket League. I mean, they brought in the basketball game modes. They brought in, Rumble, I think, was another one where you get like these amazing abilities. You can do so much with that game, and so here we go. It's supersonic, acrobatic, rocket-powered battle cars.
That's it.
I knew I should like that
name.
one. So
it is a great name, though.
It's fantastic.
Are we going to have Rocket League Battle Royale next?
You never know.
Start with that.
You really never know where they could go with it.
I know, right?
I think it's good news anyway all round for Psyonix. An indie developer like that kind of getting bought over by, let's face it, one of the biggest companies in the world right now. I just say congratulations to them. Fair play to them.
I think there's an interesting. I was talking about Battle Royale there. I think there's an interesting market you could do. Do you remember like Twisted Metal?
Yes,
that
I remember
would make a great Battle Royale.
That would be something they could do. Put that in it, like, or even like a Demolition Derby or something like that.
Yeah.
100%.
Obviously, make it on a smaller scale, but
yeah, or a larger scale because you're in a car. You can build fly around the place, like.
Yes and no, but I mean, the smaller in the scale of don't have 99 or 100 players in the one match on cars battling each other. Like 50 or 60 would be good enough.
Yeah, no, there's definitely room to do something different there in terms of the Battle Royale. Like we've seen, the guns and shooting people, but like a Destruction Derby Battle Royale would be pretty awesome. I'm surprised that nobody has done it yet.
If I'm not mistaken, the closest we've gotten to that was it Twisted Metal Black that was on the PS3?
Yeah, that was definitely close.
That was an always online one, so that maybe is the closest we've gotten so far. So maybe there might be the market for something else. Like,
awesome. The next bit of news, guys, we're going to have to go through these a little bit quickly because we've got loads of it. PS Plus May 2019 PS4 games were announced. Subscribers are getting 2 PS4 games for the month of May: Overcooked and What Remains of Edith Finch. They will be available to download from Tuesday the 7th of May. And there has been a little bit of, I suppose, aggro going on in the PS community about these two games. Guys, what do you think about these two games? Seamus, I'll throw it to you first.
Well, the second game I have no idea about, but Overcooked looks like great fun. I want to put it out there. Get a couple of your mates together, all get in the group, just play it with that. I just think of like if it was me, yourself, and Jack running an Italian chipper. Could you it's scenarios you run through your head while you're thinking about games like this. I just think it could be absolutely hysterical.
I haven't played it, and I've seen it, and I've heard great things about it, so I'll definitely play it. And that's why I like when a PS game comes out and you haven't played, and I haven't played 2 of these, so it suits me.
Yeah. I just think it's a new thing. Like there's not enough co-op games out there anyway.
Yeah.
Like couch co-op. I think anything in that kind of category that you can sit down with your mates, have a laugh, not take too seriously, and just have a ball with. I love anything like that. So the more the merrier in that kind of category for me.
Totally agree, Jack.
Honestly, I'm nowhere near as pushed on either of them. And before somebody jumps into the comments and says because they have no platinum trophies, that isn't the reason why I'm not a fan of them.
Just you'd have to point it out, wouldn't you?
Just before someone else did. But the disappearance of Edith Finch, I've heard of before, I've looked at before, and it's just a case of that type of game usually isn't my cup of tea. Yeah, there's been a couple of games, the same style of games that I've played and enjoyed, but
it's a stroll playing game.
Yeah. Basically,
yeah,
but
it's a walking simulator. I'm not a huge fan of those either. I think my biggest issue is if I play like an adventure game like say The Walking Dead, I prefer either one or the other. I prefer either I'm gaming or I'm watching a movie. I don't really like the in-between. I don't really like interactive movies, and I don't really like interactive games, I suppose you could say. So that one, I'll check it out. Maybe I'll sit down with my wife and we can go through it, because I heard it has a phenomenal story. Sean Malloy, my good friend in America, he really pushed that game and loved it. So I'll check it out. But for me, those walking simulators never really. I just don't have the patience to play them for some reason. Overcooked, I think we're all going to jump on that. I think we should all just have a bit of fun with that one. But what do you make of this kind of reaction from the gaming community that they're kind of battering down the door saying we want more? Seamus?
It's very understandable considering it's a subscription service, and I think to have 2 indie titles kind of come out as your 2 games per month, it's a bit cheap on Sony's end. I think they have to always kind of have like a bigger title and then a small title, like an indie title to back it up. Kind of, I feel like. Maybe they're just doing this because they've got something bigger on the horizon. Maybe next month they'll have bigger games. I'm not sure. I don't really know. It's either if you're going to have 2 games like that, give at least 3 games total. Then
the way I always looked at free PSN games, and like people say, oh well, I'm paying my subscription, but I always look at you're paying for the ability to use their online service, not the ability to get these free games. Now, I know people probably say, well, look, we've been getting them for so long, and before we've been getting PS4 games, PS Vita, PS3 games, and now it's all changed and all we're getting is these. But I really feel like there's going to be an outroar this month, and then we're going to get something really good next month. But with the problem with me with the good stuff is I've usually played those or I've bought them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? The AAA games, if they're any good or if they're at the top of their, like you're never going to get a God of War, are you? And if you do, like, I mean, who hasn't played that game that has a PS4? So I do like that when they bring out. Jack, of course you haven't.
No, me.
Oh, Seamus.
Platinum God of War, remember?
Oh, you sorry, that's a platinum too. Sorry, I wasn't looking. Jack or Seamus, you need to jump on that one. But you know what I mean? Like when they bring out like a massive AAA game, chances are 90% of the community will have played it. And I don't know. I prefer when they bring out indie games. Maybe they could have thrown in something a little bit saucier, maybe 2 or 3 of the indie games. But I don't know. I'm kind of happy for just Overcooked.
I think the problem lies with the fact that they're indie games is the fact that they're not the bigger indie games. Like they could have done Super Meat Boy, they could have done Binding of Isaac, they could have done something like Shovel Knight, with Shovel Knight's developers bringing out a new game later this year.
Yeah, that's true. Shovel Knight is awesome.
But there's so much better indie games that they could have brought out, but yet they brought out 2 indie games that have been on sale constantly over the past couple of months
cheap
for 3-4 quid at a time.
Yeah, so that's a good point, Jack.
So I think that's where the most of the aggro is coming from, with the fact that these 2 games are free this month, because a lot of people might have bought them in sales previously for the reasons that you said. Maybe they like strolling simulators, maybe they wanted it for couch co-op, but now they're free, and some people are like, "But why are you being so cheap?" Yeah, something good could come along next month, but then again, we haven't had the greatest selection this year so far. Anyway, I think one of the most expensive games we got was Infinite Warfare.
That's a great point, Jack. And I totally agree. I never looked at the fact that these games are on sale super cheap, like 2-3 quid. So why would you get excited about it when you could just buy them for very cheap? That's a good point. Guys, we're going to move on to the next piece of news. This one is a massive piece of news for me, and we've got a trailer for this as well. Wildlands is... Let's hopefully the stuff doesn't get messed up. No, it's good. So Wildlands is bringing out a new operation called Oracle, and this weekend, it's actually a free weekend. You can download it right now. Go and play Wildlands if you haven't already. It's a phenomenal game, very underrated. So what it says here, the report: there has never been a better time to jump into Ghost Recon Wildlands, as Operation Oracle brings new free story content to PS4 players on the 2nd of May. Ghost Recon Wildlands Operation Oracle missions bring in Punisher's John Berthal for a potential sequel tease, and that's kind of where you got to get excited about this. And people were saying, well, there's nothing there about a sequel. I mean, why are people blowing it up that this could be a sequel tease? And a lot of people are saying, well, you don't bring in an actor as big as this if you're not going to do something big. You're not going to bring him in just for one single mission. So they reckon he's going to be a massive part of Ghost Recon Wildlands 2, which is absolutely amazing. The Punisher is a fantastic show. Anyone that's watched it really loves it and really loves John in those series. And I think him stepping in here, he's a super badass. He fits into the Ghost Recon Wildlands world, and guys, I'm looking forward to this. I have it downloaded, and currently I'm going to be streaming it after the podcast tonight. And guys, have you played Wildlands? Probably. I know it's hit and miss with people.
Oh, I haven't played it at all. No, that's very much your territory. But the Ghost Recon games generally, like they have a different level of kind of combat style, like shooting, like the Rainbow Six games and stuff like that, and all that kind of stuff. It's top notch. I think, they're like Rainbow Six Siege and stuff like that. They are the same company, aren't they?
Yeah, Ubisoft, yeah.
Like like Siege and stuff like that. They have a level of familiarity to them that comes through all their games. I think there's anyone who has played likes of Siege or even like the other games could pick up Recon Wildlands and have fun with it. But you've really been into it, Ronan. Like that's one of your top games of the last couple of years.
Yeah, I really loved it. I was told to get it for a long time because it was my cup of tea, and the fact that I waited and I got it really cheap, and I hooked up with a couple of guys from England and we played it literally hardcore mode, no HUD, calling out everything, calling out if they see an enemy, and it was one of the best gaming experiences I had on the PS4, hands down. And then I let it down for a while, and then they brought out the Predator mission, and it's the best iteration of Predator in any video game ever. I mean, they have this amazing story. I won't ruin it for people because they might jump into it this weekend, but if you jump into Wildlands this weekend, look for the jungle moves on the map and just head for there. And if you're big into the Predator, it is fantastic what they have done. And all that was just a free piece of DLC like this one. But I was a little upset when they announced The Division 2 because, like, I will say I'm not a huge fan of The Division. I don't like the bullet spongy bosses. It's not my cup of tea. People like it out there. It's not for me. This game is as real as you can get. I mean, the weapons in it have different bullet trajectory. Every weapon feels different. There is a mass amount of weapons that you can pick up, different customizable items that you can put on the weapons, and you can also depending on the terrain, you can change your outfit. Everything is so customizable in it. One thing I loved about it. We always, when we were playing, we always had to dress up appropriately to the terrain that we were in, and we took like plenty of pictures where we were in the jungle, and it's like, can you see me? And you're like trying to figure out where the hell your teammate is, and you can't see him at all, and then he'll move, and you're just like, wow, like the camouflage in this game is just ridiculous. I can't big that game up enough. I really can't. I think it's something so unique that's on the PS4 and the consoles, and it reminds me of the old SOCOM days. That's what it reminds me of, or Delta Force, or those old PC games. Yeah, I'm going back there now, but that's what it reminds me of, and I love them. And I had like a gap in my gaming library for something like that for so long, and then Wildlands came along, so I am very, very excited for this one. So yeah, that is Wildlands 2 possibly. The next one might be a little bit more up your street, guys. Earthworm Jim making a comeback. What do you make of this one? The reports are over 20 years in the making. Earthworm Jim is back with the entire original team and exclusively on the Intellivision. Live chat with them during our first design meeting this Saturday. Original Earthworm Jim team reunites after 25 years after its initial release to create a new Earthworm Jim game exclusively for the upcoming Intellivision Amico game console. What is that thing? Amico? Never heard of it. Jack, what's going on here, Jack?
It's probably going to be a kind of new gen retro console by the sounds of things.
So which is the bigger news, that there's going to be a new console, or that's going to be a new Earthworm Jim game?
I think the bigger news to everyone is Earthworm Jim. The fact that it's been so long since an Earthworm Jim game, I think that's really what's going to get people hyped.
That's phenomenal. 20 years. Have you played? You've obviously played the original, yeah?
Nope, never played them. I've actually watched playthroughs of them when I was younger, but I've never actually gotten the chance to play them.
Seamus?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
All I have to say about this is yes.
Okay.
Earthworm Jim is a fantastic platformer. It's actually that's kind of the first super kind of hero cartoony game where I felt that they hit the nail on the head with how the character plays, reacts, and talks in the game.
Okay. It was super difficult, wasn't it?
Oh, it's
like
hard
all those retro games.
But I think even the fact that you could use the suit and you could use his head as a lasso and swing yourself around.
Yeah.
And then there was also the launching cows into the sky, which was great.
I don't remember that now, but I did play the game, but I just remember it being super, super difficult. It was on Sega, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's on the Mega Drive.
Yeah, I definitely played it, but I don't think I put an awful lot of time into it because I think it kicked my ass. But I do love reading these stories that after 20 years, this team is still, getting back together, creating a new game. I think the story behind this is going to be, it's going to be very interesting, and seeing where it goes. Like, is it going to be similar to the old one where it's just going to be a 2D platformer? Are they going to open it up and go 3D like every other second game in the series?
Oh, please don't. Does anyone remember Rayman 2?
Anyone remember a Gex 3D?
See what I mean? Like it more than often ruins games. So
3D was class.
I never really played the first one, so I can't comment. But yeah.
But no, I'm hoping that they'll do a good job and it'll just be interesting. But in television, Amico seems to be the gaming console that's attached to that. I missed that the first time I read it, so check out that. That might be like a new, possibly handheld, no, Jack? Or would it be something that you actually plug into your TV?
I'm not too sure because the Intellivision is actually quite an old console at this stage. You don't hear of it very often, so that's what surprised me about that news. Like, they're actually making another one. It
I
could be
actually thought that the Intellivision was that console that you had to stick like the stickers on your TV to play like ice hockey and stuff like that. But I don't know.
So just a little fact here in the comments. Thanks, Johnny, for that. Intellivision existed in the late 70s and early 80s. They were known as low-end alternative for Nintendo and Atari. Earthworm Jim had cutting-edge animation for a 16-bit game. So that is the Intellivision. So I don't know whether they're going to maybe bring out like a Intellivision Mini. Could this be what it's hinting?
It could be.
Who knows?
Then again, is Atari bringing out a new console as well, though?
Very true. So we'll see. We'll have to see what way that plans out. Guys, Titanfall developers, who's still playing Apex? Seamus? A little bit.
Yes. Oh yeah, I played a good bit of the other night there. I actually I after taking a break from it, going back to it, like I played a bit of Oshin and stuff the other night, and we just had a bit of crack with it, and it's refreshing to kind of get back into it every now and again.
I agree.
I still think it's a wonderful game. It just needs to be tuned up a little bit, and then I think I'll be fine with it again.
So the story here is Titanfall plans delayed to focus on Apex Legends, says Respawn. Respawn has pushed off all the current Titanfall projects. The first one, which was previously scheduled for later this year, these Titanfall projects have been postponed to give Respawn some more time to make adjustments to Apex Legends and to make sure that they don't F up the new Star Wars game. No, but yeah, they're going to be going...
Well done, lads.
They're going to be going and fixing that glitch where you have to restart the game, or what happens? You have to jump out of the...
There's a couple of ways you can do it. The best way that we found out is if you're all in a PlayStation party, you can join, even if you don't get into the queue, you can rejoin the game through your PlayStation party, and that'll throw you back into the queue or into your party on the game. But other than that, the only other way is to actually just restart the whole game to get back into the party properly.
Wow. So in terms of, let me see this now. In terms of actual gameplay, is there any game-breaking bugs within the game that happen? Or is it just all, I suppose,
no, I think once you're in a match
kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think once you're in a match, I think it's fine. There's not been anything for me that's been like so drastic. I was like pissed off about it.
Yeah. I'm sure when you're playing it like hundreds of hours a week, you're going to be...
The only thing that would frustrate me a bit is if people land in the contested area, it slows it down immensely, like you're playing the game in slow motion for like a minute or two.
Is that a PS4 issue though, rather than a...
I'm not sure. I haven't asked anyone on like another console or anything like that.
Yeah, I have got that before, but I always felt like that was more hardware rather than the actual game. But I suppose that's no excuse either. You need to... No,
because if it has to be the actual servers, because everyone is running at the same pace. It's not just you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm the same as you, Seamus. I jumped back into that game recently just for a quick jump in with... I'm not sure whether Ushin was with me or not, but we jumped in, we had a bit of crack. It's so fun to play that game. Like that, the gameplay elements in those games in Apex is just very smooth. When a first person shooter comes out and it's smooth gameplay like that, it becomes very addictive. Destiny was the same, and when you get used to the different abilities and everything just works together, and your teammate is doing their abilities and you're doing yours, and it's all happening, you're taking down guys. I mean, shout out to Paddy there, he's an absolute monster at the game. I think he's drifted off a little bit with it because of the issues that he's having. I think he was complaining about sound issues. I'm not sure whether that was hardware or the actual
sound issue where every now and again where he's shooting guns he can't hear the sound or something. I'm not sure if that's a common problem. I know a few people have said it, but I haven't read up on it because I don't have the issue. Get a PS4 Pro, people.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Respawn and Apex, and fair play to those guys. to be honest with you, I love that development team, and I hope they do well on the Star Wars game. I hope they're not squeezed too much, and I hope they can sort out Apex Legends. So guys, next is this is the controversial one that people have been back and forth on all week. Jack, I know you want to get in with this one, but let's play the trailer here. So Sonic trailer is finally here, and so I'm going to read it out. But now with the first trailer, we finally get to see the speedy blue hedgehog in action. He runs, he talks. Seeing him in the hairy blue flesh makes the disconnect between the classic game designs and the frightfully realistic posters a little more palatable. It's not just Sonic who gets a chance in the spotlight. Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik also makes an appearance in the trailer. We got a first glimpse of Sonic's arch enemy in a leaked photo yesterday, but the footage showcases the wackiness Jim Carrey brings to the role of Ivo Eggman Robotnik. So guys, what is your opinion on this trailer?
We'll let
Jack.
Seamus go first because of that lovely pillow he has.
Jack, what do you reckon? Oh yeah, Seamus. Okay, let's go.
Well, as you can see, I love Sonic. He's a great guy. This is Sonic's eyes. Get it right, people. These are his eyes.
I thought they were a pair of goggles.
He's not like stoned all the time. He's not like, I don't get it.
You're not happy,
Sonic's
no?
wide-eyed and smiling all the time. In all honesty, I'm gonna watch it anyway because I love Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I think that's kind of most people's take.
That's my drawing point. But it depends. Like, if they get the character of Sonic really right, I don't know. It's just watching the trailer. It seems very unexciting. I'm not excited to go see it, but I'm going to go see it, kind of thing. Whereas in comparison, Detective Pikachu that comes out this month, I'm actually excited to go see it.
Okay. For me, if you took Pikachu out of the Pikachu trailer and put Sonic in it, or vice versa, they look very, very similar to me. Pikachu with Deadpool's voice just doesn't do it for me. I think the both trailers, I feel the same way about them, and I said it earlier on in the community that I don't want to be too negative on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my son to it, and if he enjoys it, hell with it. Like, he enjoys it, and we'll have a bit of fun from his reactions. But going by the trailer, I mean, it just looks like
the trailer doesn't show Tails at all.
No,
Tails is hardly going to be in it, though, is he?
I thought he was going to be in it. I thought there was like a mock-up for him.
Yeah.
I've no idea. I don't want to see what he looks like.
But then again, what I caught in the trailer, he says, I have to save your world. So maybe it might be in it. It could be the Sonics from somewhere else. But as you put it, Jim Carrey is the only thing that's going to save that movie. It's going to be the series of unfortunate events all over again. Yeah,
and another thing there that popped onto my head, Streamer Elite reminded me of it. Thanks for that, Streamer. Gangster's Paradise. What? Who picked that track for? Like, who picked that track to try and invoke your nostalgia feeling towards Sonic? Like, it makes no. Is it just like? It's just like get a popular song in, boom. Why is that song there?
It made no sense.
It's ridiculous.
I love John Fogerty's calling it. It's because Sonic is a straight G.
Oh, good God.
This Sonic is a straight G. This one.
That one.
Not this half-stoned thing that they have in this movie.
It's a little bit crazy. Jack, get in there now, because I know you're on the fence about this one.
It actually reminds me of a comment I saw, and somebody said that if they saw the movie and Sonic does not eat at least one chili dog, they're going to riot.
That's fair.
But no, like, in all honesty, the trailer doesn't make the movie look half as bad as I was expecting it to look. Still looks bad, but not as half as atrocious as I was expecting. But that's simply because of Jim Carrey is becoming 90s Jim Carrey again, especially after the past couple of years of shit he's been through. He actually looks like he's going back to his old wacky self, and that's what I'm looking for.
I'm a massive Jim Carrey fan, but I felt a little bit of a disconnect even with him in this trailer. I felt like it was Ace Ventura, and people say 90s Jim Carrey. It was literally, it was Ace Ventura Jim Carrey. And I suppose that's a wrong thing to say, but it felt like it was just something felt off about it. It didn't feel like Jim Carrey. It felt a little bit forced now, I will be honest with you. I've like with Jim Carrey, like I said, I'm a huge fan. I love his story. I love what he came from, and like he's been through a lot in the past few years. You've said that already, Jack, but just something felt off for me in the whole trailer. Nothing about it was like, yeah, Sonic, like my childhood, gaming icon. And it's just like, who designed Sonic? Like, who thought it'd be a good idea to make him look totally different than what we remember him as?
I think it's strange not to, like, if you know like the original Sonic storyline, not to include Robotnik's sidekicks and stuff.
Oh yeah, the two robots.
The robots and stuff, yeah. I think to have it at that, it's just like the human race or whatever. Yeah. It's a bit of a cutback on what it could have been. I think they could have done a lot more like CGI stuff and stuff like that. But then again, you probably have to include the entire Sonic cast as well. Then,
and here's another thing: we're being very critical here. It's a trailer; it could come out. Here's the thing: they're getting my money anyway because it's a Sonic property. I am going to go. I'm going to bring my son. I'm going to eat loads of popcorn. And if it's a fun movie, the hell with it. Like, I had fun. I went and we had fun together with Nate. And if it's fun, it's fun. Just by the trailer, I don't know. Just something felt a little bit off to me. But that's all I'm kind of going to say on that one. I hope it's good. I hope it's a good video game movie for the first time ever.
That'll never happen.
Lads, don't even go there. Mario Bros. Movie is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Well, we can't get Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Let's not go down this. Let's go down this rabbit hole, right? But I do want to ask you something, Seamus. I think I watched that Mario movie, I would say 50 times when I was younger, and really enjoyed it. How the hell does that thing hold up?
It's like the Mortal Kombat movies.
Mortal Kombat 1 is a good movie.
The first one's great, but Jesus, Annihilation.
I know, but the first movie is decent.
It's more like Mortal Kombat Abomination, right?
Can't be much worse than the Tekken movies. Jesus, they're bad.
The Dragon Ball Evolution movie. That's
we do not get into that one.
That's the bottom of the bar. That's like just.
Silent Hill is a great movie.
It's not bad, yeah.
The original.
The first Resident Evil movie is really good.
Yeah. It's already
yes,
animated.
It is.
They're the animated.
What happened after that, I don't know.
I don't know either. I suppose, isn't that the most successful video game movie adaptation
franchise
series?
I would say as a franchise, probably because they've got 5 of them.
Yeah, they just keep pumping them out.
They're redoing them though. There's a new set of Resident Evil.
Isn't there a Netflix show coming up?
Or is it Netflix show?
Yeah, that looks interesting. Hopefully now
they'll just slap their name on anything now and just say, "Oh, here we go. Let's see what happens." I'd like a Silent Hill show. There's actually more story and stuff in that as a single place than you would get unless you have the multiple Resident Evil storylines joining as a series.
Diverging into the one, yeah.
Guys, let's push it on, not go down this rabbit hole like I promised we wouldn't.
We will go down this rabbit hole.
Let's go to the next. Maybe that's one for, I think, have we done it before? Topic of the week being video game movies. I'm sure we have. But let's go on to the next news item, because I know this is a big one for possibly a couple of people out there, not for me. But Dragon Age 4 becomes BioWare's next big focus as Anthem loses its lead creators. And the 3 key members of Anthem's development team have already stopped working on the game. So, I mean, that shows you where that game is. I got my prediction wrong on that game. That game is not doing so well. So, I don't know, Dragon Age, I tried to get into them. It's something that I should really like because I like that setting. I like that fantasy world, dragons, the whole lot, the whole shebang. But Dragon Age just never really did it for me for some reason. Any of you guys played Dragon Age?
I've played some of them, but yet again, they're not for me.
Yeah.
I tried. I gave them the old college try.
Yeah,
and
same here.
They haven't held up for me. I'll tell you what I kind of expected from them because even looking at the graphics to that, do you remember the Lord of the Rings games on the PS2? Like, that was what I wanted from Dragon Age. Just keep it simple, but just
everyone
bring
wants
you
those
along.
games remastered, those old Lord of the Rings games.
They'd be great.
I think there's a massive fan base for Dragon Age games. It's huge.
Yes, 100%.
But for me, I'll look at it when it comes out. Inquisition was supposed to be like one of those things like the equivalent of DMC. You either love it or you hate it. It was that kind of thing for that franchise.
So the report goes on and says executive producer Mark Dara, lead producer Michael Gamble, and lead director Jonathan Warner. They're the three lead creators from Anthem that are gone from that game. According to a recent tweet from Gamble, the reason for this behind-the-scenes reshuffle seems to be Dragon Age shaped, as BioWare places the majority of its focus on getting Dragon Age 4 out the door, following several reports reboots of the RPG sequel. So that's the report that we got today, guys, and that's pretty fresh, that one. So it should be interesting to see how it plays out. I would like to see them just do a total change in art style and just evolve that game in a way that I would be able to jump into it, because from the outside looking at that game, that should be my cup of tea, but when I play it, just something feels off. The world feels empty. I know the character development is meant to be brilliant in it, but I never was able to stay in that world long enough to really explore the characters, or it never got its hooks into me. And the last bit
with those games, sorry,
no, go on.
Just final bit is they kind of come out alongside Witcher games, and you either kind of play one or the other. And the Witcher series is fantastic.
Yeah, that's a great comparison.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic storytelling. It's what you want Dragon Age to be.
Yeah.
Now, in all fairness, I'm not really a big fan of the Witcher games for their combat style, but for storytelling, they're unbelievable.
Yeah.
They're up there with God of War and everything else. It is the height of storytelling and gaming at the moment.
Definitely.
But I think Dragon Age could be that. Like it has the fan base, it has the power. People just need to get the right writers in and make this game feel like a big story. Because the combat isn't amazing in The Witcher. It's very much just same as kind of an Assassin's Creed combat system or something like that.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
It doesn't have like the difficulty level that, say, like a Bloodborne or any sort of From Software game, or
it's very animation heavy. That's the way I always felt about it.
Very much so. But it also has a little bit more than The Witcher would have, because it has the different styles of combat, because you can be like a mage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think if you could have The Witcher storytelling with all those, it would be nearly like having Path of Exile with The Witcher. I think that's where the potential it could have.
Yeah.
And that in Ronan's head just makes everything go bingo, bingo. That's exactly what people want. But whether they do it or not is another question.
But
definitely.
Yeah, you've definitely hit the nail on the head with the story being the problem with Dragon Age. Like, I've played Origins and Inquisition, and it wasn't really the story that got me through it. It was everything else, like the character progression and everything. And even then, I still missed a couple of bits. Some of the humor in it is brilliantly done, but again, it just falls flat on its face with all the story, because of the way they interlink it. There's all these plot lines that aren't properly finished and everything.
So the last bit of news, guys, before we move on to topic of the week, we're pushing on a little bit past time. We started a little bit late, so we're okay. Days Gone is the biggest physical sales launch of the year so far in the UK. PS4 exclusive Days Gone has secured the biggest physical sales launch of the year so far in the UK. Impressively for a new... did I just read that same... Sorry, apologies for that. I read the same line twice. Impressively for a new intellectual property, Days Gone beat the sales of Capcom's Resident Evil 2 and Ubisoft's Far Cry, New Dawn and The Division 2. However, Days Gone's launch sales comes under those of the following: God of War and Spider-Man, which is totally understandable. But I mean, for a game that came out that, it wasn't reviewed that well, like it wasn't terrible. People were saying that it was okay, that it was good, but it didn't do anything new. People really wanted this game, or really wanted the special super duper edition, as I call it. Jack, what do you make of this?
Honestly, I'm not surprised, because, as you've said, everybody said it's nothing different. It's your typical run-of-the-mill zombie apocalypse game. But from what a lot of people are also still basing that on is when we originally saw the trailers, we saw these massive hordes, this stealthily moving around, trying not to get their attention, trying to avoid their attention, and then getting their attention elsewhere to make your plan work. And I think that's what a lot of people were looking for. But then going back to the other side of things, there's always going to be a kind of a want for for zombie games as a whole, be it Left 4 Dead or the new World War Z, which a lot of people are saying is a lot like Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
So it could be a case of, because it looked like it was going to do something new, people wanted to try it and see what it was like, but then also the repetitiveness came out and went into the reviews. Some people like repetitiveness, some people don't. It's really kind of hit and miss with it.
I'm not hearing that many bad things from Days Gone from the community. I'm actually hearing a lot of positives from it. I know John Fogarty, he's in the chat there, he's really enjoying it. And anytime someone posts up in the community, it seems to be, you know, they're enjoying the game, and you know what I mean, like it might come out and it might be flawed in ways, but if people are getting enjoyment out of it, it must mean they're doing something right. What I heard was they tried to do Sony Ben tried to do so many things, but they master none of them. And it's interesting in a way that, you know, there's a good character there. Deacon is meant to be a really interesting character. He's not just this, you know, butthead biker. He's actually very, you know, sensitive in parts. I heard he's meant to be really deep character, which is good. It's good that people can latch on to a character like that you spend, like, I mean, I think I heard someone spending like 60 hours with this game before they completed it. So there's a good chunk of game there, which is also something that people complain about, that, okay, I've paid 60 quid for this game or 100 quid for this game for the special edition. Are you getting enough game time? And for me, 60 hours seems like a pretty decent chunk of gameplay. So I'm glad people are enjoying it. And any other last words there on Days Gone, guys?
I think people, like, I've heard nothing but good things from it. I've watched people playing it and stuff like that, and watching people play it has actually made me think about buying it more than reading things about it. Yeah, like I didn't think it was going to be as stealthy as stuff as it actually is. People are saying that there is a stealth element to it. Now, in all fairness, you could probably just run in and shoot and hack and slash your way through everything, and the story seems to be a big part of it as well. And like, I think I kind of said it last week. I think I said it's like Sons of Anarchy meets The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
and I'm okay with that combination.
Same as that. Two awesome series.
Yeah, I think now, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of it to give like a full opinion or do a review on it. But anything I've seen of it has kept my interest long enough for me to say.
And if it is the case that it's going to be just bugs or stuff that people aren't happy about because, you know, there's something that happens within the game that, I think all these bugs can be fixed. Do you know what I mean? And the fact that this is a single player game, it's never it's never always changing. The fact that it's you know, it's always online, or sorry, it's a single player game, so it's not online. So the developers can come in and really improve this game as time goes on. So I'm really looking forward to playing that game when it maybe drops down in price a little bit. But I'm glad people are enjoying it. I haven't played the game, so I can't give my full opinion on what the game is. I'd like to play it and see, do I get the same amount of fun as other people do. Guys, we are going to go to just a word from our sponsor, and we will be back in a couple of minutes. Hey guys, the Alpha Fox here, and I just want to bring you a quick message from our sponsor. Our mission at Kaiju Gaming Lounge is to bring the social aspect back to video games in Cork City. There is a tendency with online video games for people to spend a lot of time alone while playing games with their friends over the internet, which may become isolating at times. We want to offer an alternative to spending time alone or in a pub, and instead engage in some friendly competition with existing friends or meet new ones in the process. Kaiju Gaming Lounge is the #1 sponsor for TROP-CAST, the #1 gaming podcast in Ireland, and the official podcast of the Republic of Players. And that is the word from our sponsor, Kaiju Gaming Lounge in Cork. Make sure you check that place out if you're in Cork City. So guys, we are going to go on to topic of the week, and the topic of the week, which Jack mentioned earlier on, is we want to discuss the launch of the PS5 and what titles we would like to see, and Jack has a list of the titles that are rumoured to be coming out. So first of all, Seamus, what title would really get you to buy? And even saying that, I know what you're going to say, but what game except Bloodborne 2 would make you buy a PS4? It can be Bloodborne 2 if you want.
Nope. Give me a second.
I know what he's going
for a second.
Where's he going?
Exactly what he's going for.
Bloodborne.
Nope. If I remember correct, if I'm not mistaken, I'd say he's getting.
Yeah,
I was right.
That is never ever going to be a launch title for a PS. What Seamus?
I don't know if you've read the rumors, but
what rumors? The rumors for the last
be
40
before
years.
The PS4 ends, and it's going to also be upgraded on the PS5 to be part of.
What
the 4K.
game are you holding up there for the audio version?
I was holding Final Fantasy VII because it's the greatest game of all time.
It's pretty good.
Look at it. Oh, look at it.
It's alright. It's not the best game of all time.
Oh, you be quiet. Yeah, Bloodborne's up there too, I suppose. But
no.
Do you know what's actually in it? This is hilarious. One of the greatest games of all time.
What is
LMA
it?
Manager 2001.
Oh, good God. In a Final Fantasy
2001.
VII.
Yeah, I also didn't steal it from Chartbusters. Shush.
Jesus Christ, Chartbusters.
Wow. Chartbusters. There was one of them in Mullingar. Long live Chartbusters.
There's also All-Star Baseball 2002 on the PS2.
Oh, good God.
I know Johnny Dragon is going to like the LMA shout out on the show. That's a brilliant one. So Final Fantasy VII, that's what you're going with. That's the one you want to see. How realistic do you think that is, Seamus?
I have a feeling we're going to see it sooner than that.
Yeah.
I also think that it's going to come out on that as well as a 4K option.
Okay. Jack, without going through your rumours just yet, what's your number one pick for what you want to see as a PS5 launch title?
Without going through the rumours, it's got to be Ghost of Tsushima. That game has.
You think that's going to be PS5 launch?
But looking at the even looking at the trailers for it that they released at E3, it was a bit more ahead than what we've seen on the PS4 so far. And if the PS4 is coming to the end of its life cycle, it looks like it could end up being a PS5 launch title just by looking at the trailers.
The only thing that I'll say about that, Jack, is Infamous is a fantastic looking game, even when you look at it now. By the same developers, Sucker Punch, isn't it? Yeah, Sucker Punch. If you go back and play Infamous, which is a PS4 title, it still looks as good as a lot of the games being released today. So for me, if Ghost of Tsushima came out and it was awesome looking, it wouldn't surprise me if they could bring that out on PS4. I think we're going to get to see that a little bit earlier, but that's just my opinion on that one. For me, I think the number one game that's going to come out on PS5, the one that's going to show off everything, the graphic fidelity, the power of it, is going to be Horizon Zero Dawn 2. I think that has to be. Guerrilla Games are known for their launch titles. I mean, Killzone was a launch title on, I think, every PlayStation title. Wouldn't it be fantastic if Horizon, if they're going to call it Zero Dawn 2, came out as a launch title for PS5? That would rock the boat as far as as Kingdom Come.
A spanner in the works.
Go for it.
Crash Bandicoot 4.
No.
Stop remastering games.
Not even a remaster. No, there is no Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, an actual new one. Wow.
That I'm hoping against hope that doesn't happen. Because but then again
like Naughty Dog did an Uncharted 4.
That's true. But then again, it's no longer Naughty Dog doing the Crash Bandicoot games. It's Vicarious Visions.
We're also forgetting something again, Johnny. Thanks for that. Cyberpunk 2077. That game has kind of gone a little bit dark as well, and looks like a game that could be, it could take a lot of power to run.
It's still something that I'm still on the edge about that. I don't know.
Yeah, especially with the stuff they've said they've been implementing into it. if it is going to come out, it probably will be PS5. It won't be PS4.
Jesus, so it could be lined up for an absolute crazy launch lineup for the PS5. Jack, what rumors? What do you have for us? Do you have a list there?
I have the list right in front of me here. So one, well, we said a couple of them, but the first one is Death Stranding. Even though Kojima has said it's coming to this gen, there's nothing stopping it from being also released on the PS4, like you said with Ghost of Tsushima. Now,
yeah, that's definitely, that could possibly even be after the launch, knowing what the way Kojima works.
Yeah,
it
could be PS6 before we see that thing. Yeah, go for it, Seamus.
I wonder, like, because you're going to get so many games that cross over, and obviously the PS5 is going to be backwards compatible with the PS4. But for games that are like they'll have actual titles on the PS5, will they have a thing where you can just pay like an extra tenner to upgrade to the 4K graphics or whatever, or will it just be if you bought it on the PS Store for the PS4, can you have it on the PS5 with the upgraded graphics and whatever else they're going to add to it?
Yeah, that's a good point. I reckon it depends on, I suppose, how upscaled it is going from PS4 to PS5, and is it going to be just strictly an upscale, or will they bring out it with, you know, extra additional, I don't know, DLC or, you know, something or other that will get you to go, okay, I'm going to buy it again. Because I know The Last of Us and Grand Theft Auto 5 were the two that I got on PS4. They were at the end of their cycle, and I also bought them on PS5 or PS4. PS3 they came out on, and then they were re-released on PS4. I think they're going to do a lot of that as well in this game, and the fact that we have backwards compatibility and all these rumors that have been confirmed, I suppose you could say. I think they're going to be smart about this. I don't think we're going to have to pay 60 quid on PS4 and then another 60 quid on PS5. I think we're going into a digital age where consoles are a little bit more, the architecture is very similar going from one to the other. I know one's more powerful, but realistically now what we have is PCs in a box. It's just being upscaled and upscaled and upscaled. It's not like we had the PS2 to PS3 or even PS3 to PS4. Now I think they're a little bit more similar in the way they're built. So I think they'll be smart about this. And then we also have to look at, they bought Geico. Are they going to create a streaming service? Is the streaming service going to have PS5 games on it, or is it going to have PS4 games on it? There's so much potential here for this console that it's exciting in a way, and I love this part of a generation where there's still games coming out for the PS4, and you know what a system. I still play it daily, even though I have a built PC here. My PS4 still gets played every day by either myself or my son. It's a great console. I'll be sad to see it go, but the PS5 is an exciting prospect, and I can't wait to see what it's going to be. What else, Jack? In games.
So next on the list is Ghost of Tsushima, which is what I said.
Yeah.
Again, that could be this gen. Who knows?
That's
the
fair.
last was part 2. Now I can see that coming out on this gen, but then again, it could release on next. Could do what they did with the PS3 and release it on this gen, and then have another copy released for the next gen. I don't know.
100%. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to have 2 copies.
John brought it up in the comments. Cyberpunk 2077. But the thing is, CD Projekt Red has already confirmed that it is built with next-gen consoles in mind. Again, They've already released some info on bits and pieces that you wouldn't typically see in games for this gen. I won't get into that. And
just a quick fact about them, it's said that they are working on something else as well, apart from Cyberpunk 2077. Whether that is a new Witcher game, it's yet to be seen, but keep your eyes open for that one as well.
From what I've heard, it's a rumored Witcher game, but that's from what I've heard. I could be completely.
Ironically, probably come out around the same time as Dragon Age 4.
Yeah.
And then your typical ones of a PS5 Call of Duty, FIFA for the PS5, PES for the PS5, and Battlefield for the PS5. They're all your typical run-of-the-mill games they release for every console nearly at this
They're
stage.
never really a launch though, are they?
No.
The kind of the FIFAs and the Battlefield, they're usually, but then again, who knows?
But then again, it could depend on the timing on when the PS5 is released.
Very true.
And then the last one is the one Seamus is looking for, the Final Fantasy VII
Mersey in the chat says The Last of Us is finished. Naughty Dog tweeted it. Yeah, they finished actually the voice acting to it. They're not finished the actual game. It was it was the two
motion
characters.
capture and everything.
Yeah, the motion capture is done. There was a tweet of the two characters, Ellie and Joel. They had finished up, and so there's still a lot to do in that game. So just don't be downhearted if it doesn't come out in the next while.
I think we might get a new Tomb Raider, because that series has been going. I think, especially because the graphics engine. Like if you play them games on a PC, you actually truly get to see how like absolutely incredible they are. I think
they're benchmark games, definitely.
To show them off the way it would on a PC on the PS5, I think it is. If you haven't played one on the PC, it actually is quite eye opening.
Oh yeah, it is. To
see the actual effort behind those games. I think we'll either see a new one or we'll see the other ones upscaled onto it.
I'd say it'll be the old ones upscaled onto it, simply because if I remember correctly, that it was the Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider were originally planned as a prequel trilogy to the original Tomb Raider game. And with the way they ended Shadow of the Tomb Raider, they did leave it slightly open to add in maybe another story or two, but the main bones of it is all
if
gone.
It's a prequel, will they remake the old ones?
They could do
prequel of a prequel of a pre. Okay, guys, we can go down this rabbit hole all night long. But what we're going to do is quickly, Seamus, this day in gaming.
Ah, man, this day in gaming, right? So there's some terrible ones. In 1997, I don't know, like we got a serious game on the PS1 called Soul Blade.
Jesus,
wow.
For anyone who does not know what Soul Blade is now Soul Calibur. And I have it here somewhere. I have Soul Calibur 6 there somewhere. But they're still going. It's still a series that's really, really good, in my opinion. Soul Blade, sorry. Soul Edge, I think, is the follow-up to it.
Soul Edge 2.
As well, if I remember correctly.
But they're unreal games. Fade to Black came out in Japan on the same day. In 1997.
You don't hear very often.
I've definitely played that game.
Yeah, it's something that it comes up in my head. Here's one for you, but it only came out in France on this day today. Knockout Kings 2002.
Oh, what a game!
What a game!
What a game!
They're fantastic. The platinum release, not the original release, the platinum release of Final Fantasy X came out on this day.
Jesus.
Legend of Zelda Wind Waker came out on the
GameCube.
GameCube.
It's pretty low.
That's a surprise.
Definitely.
That's a big game.
Here, it's not a game, but it's game related. Bandai bought Namco on this day in 2005 for $1.7 billion.
That's unbelievable. That fact.
I thought
that's when they became Bandai Namco.
So
that's class. God, I would have hated if I missed that day.
Yeah, that's the big one of today. Other than that, you've got things like the Half-Life collections and stuff. They came out in 2008, like the
orange box
launches. It's not the orange box. It's the Half-Life Complete and Half-Life 2 Complete and Counter-Strike Complete. They all came out in 2008 today.
Nice.
Other than that, there's not really much. The Bandai Namco is definitely the big one. For today, but I just thought literally when I saw it, I was like, Ronan will enjoy that one.
Yeah, class. I love that one.
Other than that, in 2017, Nier Automata came out in the United States and worldwide on Steam.
Savage.
Jeez.
Deadly. So I'm gonna do my Guinness World of Records 2009, the gaming edition. But yeah, like I said, it's 2009. And the first page I opened up was literally the Batman page. So there's a couple of facts here about Batman games throughout the generations. So the first free roaming Batman game. Anyone guess?
Free roaming.
Batman. Arkham City is what I'm guessing.
No, this is 2009 version. So we're going back a little bit. Batman and Robin, the video game, released in 1998. That was
on the Gamecom.
I'll tell you.
I literally have it here somewhere.
Oh, Jesus Christ. course.
So it just says here, the 1998 Batman and Robin video game, released to tie in with the movie of the same name, was the first to allow players to control the superhero in full 3D. The game required players to explore Gotham City, foiling crimes and looking for clues as to where Mr. Freeze would strike next.
It's obviously a PlayStation release. I have this thing called the Tiger Game Call.
It's actually a PlayStation release, because if you can see it there, that's the case of it right there.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm going to read on that one, guys. What we're going to do is we're going to do a community section real quick. So guys, if you have any questions, maybe it's about the show, maybe you want to just ask something to one of the guys or myself, work away. Now is your
repetitive questions here from buying play.
What's buy and play saying?
Is Paddy?
Who the hell is buy and play?
I don't know if that's like a
how cool is Paddy?
No, really, it's the really at the end of that sentence that really makes me thinking. You know,
I don't like talking about someone if he's not here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. And then 2 for game, it says, "Who's Paddy?" I mean,
who is he?
These are both very valid questions.
But why is Paddy?
Who is Kimura? Lad 786 says, how was fishing? Dude, fishing is always good. It always goes down good. We actually came second in the competition that we're in. We caught the second largest fish of the day. It was 18 pound, I think 18.5 pound. It was a monster, over a metre long, and yeah, it was a great day. We're back out again on Monday, so thank you for asking. Another question here, did you watch the Borderlands reveal? That was something that I was meant to put in here, but I totally forgot, so we'll throw that into next week's one. I didn't personally. Guys, any of you?
I didn't get a chance to.
I have been streaming non-stop.
Hopefully you're not talking about the trailer, because we looked at the actual...
No, there was a gameplay.
There was gameplay, was there?
Yeah.
Hopefully it was better than that revealed, or the first trailer, am I right?
You do not say anything about that first trailer, thank you very much. Breaking his epic guitar. It's epic.
I love it.
Don't you say anything, you.
Anyway, we'll move on. Has anyone played Stellaris?
I'll get my boy after you.
Has anyone...
Stellaris? No, I haven't.
Oh, Stellaris, is that how it's not Stellaris? Stellaris.
I haven't even heard of it.
Badass grand strategy game, PC level of depth, it's kicking my ass, and that was released on PS4. Johnny is actually bet into that at the moment. It's a sci-fi kind of strategy game, and I definitely will check that out. It's too rare that we have these strategy games on the PS4. I'm glad you're liking that, dude. I can't wait to see you play it. Hopefully you'll stream it for me, and we can look. Buy and Play says, a legend, that's who he is.
Yeah.
Look, I'll go out on a whim. I can agree with that. Paddy's a legend. He was missed tonight, and hopefully he enjoyed the new setup on the podcast, on the video. I think it worked a lot better than in previous times. I mean, Google Hangouts is, I think, a thing of the past now. Ronan, are you going to fight the demon of hatred? I'm going to have to, John, haven't I? So the demon of hatred is an optional boss right at the end of Sekiro. I have an optional boss, which is the demon, and the final boss, and the demon is kicking my ass to no end. What's the best community on Facebook? Jack, do you want to answer that one?
The Republican Players community, of course.
The Republic of Players.
Always got a good one too.
I heard it's toxic as no, but you know where it isn't toxic? The Republic of Players. Any more questions, guys, or can we do our shout outs and get the flock out of here? I'm just making sure that I haven't missed anything here. No, that was a jam-packed show, guys. I was expecting it to be a little bit I don't know, less crazy, but we got into some deep dives. I can't find my OBS.
Our new show seems to be like an hour and a half long.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, and plus we nearly went down that rabbit hole.
It's nice to kind of settle into it, because it was hard to cut things short when we were stuck at like the hour, and it's like, oh, lads, wrap it up. But,
I don't really like cutting it short, especially when you get into, you know, the deep dives can be interesting. Like, it's when the passion comes out, I suppose you could say. So guys, let's do our shout outs. Seamus, I'm going to hand it to you first, because you're always before me and I'm never ready after you're done.
Start
Let's
with
do it.
Jack now. So for me, it's just Maroxide on Twitch and Twitter, guys. I'll see you there. We're mostly playing pro clubs on FIFA. Playing a bit of Sekiro, get my ass kicked as usual. Just having fun and chats. And we've got song requests and stuff like that. So come in and stick on a tune. And if I like it, I'll leave it on. If I hear Wagon Wheel one more time.
Why would you tell people?
Malak.
Jack, where can the good folks find you? I hope you start streaming soon now that you get your when you get your gaming room
just
set
about
up.
to say, everybody can you might be able to catch me in the next couple of days. Actually, thank God now that I've proper internet and everything sorted out. So you can find me at the Platinum Jack on Twitch. Keep an eye on that over the next couple of days. We'll be starting on Crash Bandicoot.
Deadly. I am the Alpha Fox on everything. So you got Instagram, Facebook, you have Twitch. Where else are we? Twitter, all the good places. Don't forget to head over to the Republic of Players. Check out the most awesome community on Facebook. It's growing every day and there is some great interaction in there lately. Some great questions being thrown up by the community as well as ourselves, and we hope you continue to enjoy what we're bringing to the table. We're going to continue to do this podcast. As you can see, every week we try and do something different. We try and improve it in some way and make it better for you guys. Today was the new layout. I hope it looks a little bit better than the Google Hangouts layout. I think, you know, it can be improved. We might get some nameplates up, who knows, but we're trying to push the production on it. From Paddy as well. I mean, he
I was going to say, quick shout out to the Forgotten Man who streams over at the Republic of Players on Twitch, on the Rep of Players, Paddy, and you can also find him at Paddy the Pagan on Twitter, or Gatecrasher. It's one or the other.
No, it's Paddy the Pagan on Twitter and Twitch as well. Well,
yeah.
When he does do
it's a Forgotten Man.
Players, yeah.
We miss you.
And he is cool. Really cool.
He believes he's a legend, but we all know otherwise.
Throw a compliment and then take it right back, Jack.
They're called backhanded compliments.
From Seamus, Jack, myself, I have been your host, Ronan Fox. From also Paddy that couldn't be with us tonight, we thank you for always hopping in, listening to us. Another thing that I need to say, please go over to the Spotify, check us out there. We're on Spotify now. Big deal for us. Keep hitting that follow button, keep spreading the word. We will not stop doing this, and we thank each and every one of you for joining us every week for this and for in the community as well. And that's another show, guys. Episode 30. We are out.